Picture the scene. I'm 17 and I've just found out that I'm pregnant. My boyfriend and I now had to find a way of telling my parents. We planned to do it night after night. Every night didn't happen. We were too afraid, and they eventually went to bed and we hadn't told them. And eventually it came to a Friday night and he came around and we've got to do it tonight. We just have to tell them tonight. Eventually my dad went to bed. He used to go to bed a little earlier than my mum. And I don't even know who said the words. I don't even know who actually told, if it was him or I. But we told her that I was pregnant. Well, she burst into tears and she left the room. We just sat there in silence. I can't remember actually. I don't think we said a word to each other. She came back in a few minutes later with my dad, whose face was as white as a sheet. I actually got a fright when I saw him. And I stood up straight away from my chair and I said, "Daddy, I'm so sorry." And he just came towards me, put his arms around me, and he just held me and held me and held me. I don't remember what happened after that. I really don't. My boyfriend obviously went home. And the next morning, my sister, who's 7 years older than I am, was called in. My brother, who's 14 years older than I am, and his wife were there as well. And there was a lot of conversation in which I wasn't involved. I heard phone calls being made, lots of phone calls. And nobody included me in any of the conversation, but I could just hear all this talking going on from my room. Arrangements were being made. That week was terrifying for me. I could just see things going on around me, and I almost felt like arrangements were being made for somebody who was there, but it wasn't me. I felt invisible, completely invisible. Not that no one was talking to me, as in I was being given silent treatment, but no one was talking to me about what had happened at all. My mom didn't take it well at all. Friends came round to see her. Some even brought her some flowers. And even they didn't greet me and ask me how I was. I was taken to a family member who did some dressmaking, and I was fitted out with a white dress and a veil. I think the veil was hired actually, if I remember correctly. And a wedding was planned, a full wedding. I think there were probably 80 to 100 people there for the following Friday night. One week, from the time we told them that I was pregnant. nobody asked me if I wanted to get married or if that was okay that we do it that way. Truth be told, I was in love with my boyfriend and I probably would have said yes, I'll marry him anyway, but nobody asked me. And the week went on and all these arrangements were made. I can recall my sister phoning a caterer because she made all the arrangements at my mom's request. My sister was the only other one who did give me a hug. She was always like and still is, like a mother to me in so many ways. And she was with me all week. Remember, she took time off work to be with me. On the Thursday night before the Friday of the wedding, I was taken to the priest who was going to be marrying us to do my confession. And I was given my penance prayers to say. And if anyone knows about the Catholic religion, they will understand that. When I was doing my penance prayers, I remember thinking, I feel like I've had enough penance already, but nevertheless, I can remember being taken to confession and doing my penance. And the next day arrived. I can't remember a lot about it. I know that I had my hair done. I can't remember getting dressed. I think my sister probably helped me get dressed. She was my bridesmaid. A dress was hired for her to wear. And eventually everybody went off to the church. And my dad and I were picked up in a car to be chauffeur driven to the church as he was going to walk me down the aisle. Now, before I tell you the next bit, you need to know that my dad was not a weak man. He was a gentle person though, and loved us all so much that he let a lot go by without saying anything or disagreeing, to keep the peace. He liked to keep the peace in the house. So by me telling you that, you will know the importance of the next statement. When we stopped outside the church, he turned to me and he said, "Lovey, we don't have to go in. We can turn around and we can go back home." Is that not the most unconditional love? You had to know the situation to know what unconditional love that was. Well, I didn't have the courage that he had, and I said, "No, I want to go in." And we got out the car and in we went. And he walked me down the aisle to my young boyfriend who was standing at the top of the church waiting for me. I don't remember my vows at all. I don't remember the ceremony. It's quite strange that I remember my confession and my penance prayers, saying sorry for what I'd done, and I don't remember actually making my marriage vows. But be that as it may, we got married. We then went off to the venue where we had a full reception with a live band. I don't recall a first dance. I presume there must have been. I'm sure that all the normal things would have happened. I don't remember any of them. And then my brother, who, as I said, was 14 years older than me, so generously gave us the keys to his car and had booked us a night at a country hotel as our little honeymoon. Even that felt strange, but it was so kind of him, so thoughtful. And from there we went back to my parents' house and we lived in my bedroom. Well, that was just downright weird. It felt like I was in the next room to my parents sleeping with my boyfriend. It just felt so strange, but anyway, we had nowhere else to go, so that's what we did until we found somewhere to stay, which we eventually did. And eventually my beautiful baby boy was born. I know that my mom and my sister were quite nervous about leaving me alone with this baby. It is a wonder I never killed him in trying to care for him. I remember almost drowning him in the bath one day. Well, not the big bath, the baby bath. But yeah, those are the memories I have of him. Wonderful, beautiful memories. And I went on to have another 2 beautiful daughters. Now, that's how I got married. I suppose I should be grateful that 55 years ago, when that happened, that I wasn't sent away somewhere to have my baby. Or maybe my baby even taken from me and put up for adoption. But we must remember it was 55 years ago. And I accept things were so different. Maybe there's somebody listening to me now who's in my age group who had a similar thing happen to them and was just told, you getting married. So I do accept that it was a long time ago and things were different. But I wanted to share the story with you and tell you how I got married in 1 week.